You're making dieting way too complicated. I'm gonna show you exactly why. What's up, y'all? It's Cosmic Cage, aka KG, back again with another episode. This time we're working on our diet. This one especially hits home for me. I've worked 10 years in the fitness field as a personal trainer and also as a personal training coach. I've hired and developed multiple trainers while training hundreds of people. Diet always plays a key part in getting to that goal. So working with different clients from different backgrounds, different races, from all over the world, different experiences, changes how someone views their diet. So to expect everyone to follow a general diet, it's kind of crazy. We know that different cultures make different food different ways. So for me to just go in and tell you like, hey,
eat salads, eat a lot of greens, and do this,
that's very generic. So it's important that you create a simple but effective diet for you to get to where you need to get to. By no means is this the same diet that I was doing when I first started off in this field that just teaches you that you always evolve with your diet. Just because you're doing something now doesn't mean that you have to do it going forward to be healthy. You can make changes within your diet down the road to make it more comfortable for you. After some refinement throughout the years, I've been able to create a simple but effective game plan for you to follow to get to long-term results. Yes, I understand society makes this way more complicated than it needs to be. There's always so many things on the internet that you could look up and find. There's so much information out there, so it's hard to tell what's right and what's wrong. Fad diets pop up all the time, so it's just like hard to keep up with everything. One minute we were doing a low-fat diet, then we're doing a low-carb diet, then we're doing keto, then we're doing intermittent fasting. I'm not saying any of these are particularly can work for certain people and can't, but what I'm understanding is that there's always a new trend that comes along to help you with your diet, supposedly. Whether it's right or whether it's wrong, it's not necessarily going to work for everybody. So each wave, there are people that it actually works for, and then it ends up being something that they do long term, and that's good for them, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You have to make it so much more simpler for yourself to help you create long-term results. So you have to always understand that what works for someone else is not always necessarily going to work for you. If you follow this method, there's no reason why you shouldn't get to your goals, honestly. The first thing you got to understand when it comes to creating diet, things like culture, race, background, environment, access to certain food, how many funds you have, all these things play into account to a person's diet. What works for someone else might not work for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. One diet is never going to be perfect for everyone. Just because you're doing it for a goal don't mean you want to stop after you get to your goal. So maybe you're doing it for an event, and the event you want to get in really good shape for, really good shape for, then that's a little different because you're not going to maintain that same fitness level all year round. But you want to be within a reasonable level where you're like, I like where I'm looking, but at the same time, this is something I can maintain long term. That ties in with the first tip that I'm going to give you. You want to make it a lifestyle, not just a goal. So whatever diet you choose and you pick to do this with, you want to kind of maintain a lifestyle of that diet. So that's why switching to just eating greens or what someone else eats isn't going to work for everyone, because it doesn't make sense for your lifestyle. You're just doing it to get to one point. So when that happens, you can maintain it for a month, maybe 2 months. Good people, maybe a year or two. But it's not something you're going to be able to do long term because you don't like what you're doing. You're doing it just cause. If you don't have a real purpose into maintaining something, it's never going to stick and stay for a long period of time. So case in point, I'm Trini. I like my Caribbean food. So I'm not going to just give up curry, for example. But I could find some healthy alternatives than to doing the traditional things while still maintaining some of my cultural taste buds. So I just try to think of it like, okay, my lifestyle, I kind of want to, still have a little splash and flavor with my lifestyle. I just don't want to just be bland and plain. Then you kind of make it easier for yourself. So when you're making that diet, it might take a little bit longer to get there, but it's something that you're going to be able to maintain and create a lifestyle around. So that's why it's so important that you keep it simple so you can maintain it for the long run. So for my sports fans, I would call that more like building a franchise. So that's kind of like building what kind of the identity you want your franchise to be. It's like a team getting a bunch of young players and picks and developing them for a long-term, long run of success. Now this next one in sports term will be called game planning. Now why do I call it a game plan? Because a game plan is something that you script out before the game in order to plan for success. It's kind of like studying for a test. You have the game plan based off of what you think is going to happen. You kind of have a spread course of that. Game planning for your diet, all you're going to do is you're going to look at your weekly diet. And then what you can do when you find your weekly diet, you're going to look at all the stuff you're eating. What you're going to do is flip and try to get a healthier version of it. So like, let's say you're a fan of bread, right? Like instead of saying, hey, I'm just going to give up bread altogether, how about you find a healthier version of bread that might taste a little bit worse or about similar to what your taste buds like, but it's better for you. It might have less sugar, it might have natural ingredients, it might have some protein, some good macronutrients for you. And your first choice doesn't have to be amazing. You don't have to go straight into like fitness guru. But if you're able to transition small things into the healthier direction, you already set yourself up for a path of success. Because if you could just take your diet and you just make healthier options within each, overall, it's going to make you go into a healthier direction, which would help with stuff like your blood pressure, help with your weight. It would help with a lot of stuff with regulating the things that you eat. And it will be easier for you to transition into a healthier plan versus you just going straight into a healthy plan that you're not even sure of. So this allows me to kind of maintain what I'm eating but just in a healthier realm. So you see what I mean with that? Like you're able to kind of make your own game plan of a healthier diet instead of following what the fad or whatever is new in the marketplace. For me, it's all about like easing the stress in the process. And this is one of the best ways you can take stress off your mind. So part of game plan is visual learning. Now going into a visual aspect of what we're talking about. So when you're transitioning to any team, you're able to learn the plays in a realistic manner. Where does that come in with your diet? Visualization. So you want to just definitely have some color in your plate. You know, if you find your colors are just very bland or it's just one color in the whole plate, then you need to probably add some diversity into the color in that plate. Some people are like visual, and I'm very visual, so it's like important for me to see it, and then it sticks with my learning a little bit more. So another part of envisioning the food that you're seeing, if you look at your plate, half of it should be greens. Can you like do what you gotta do? Okay. New York City. It's the part of living in New York City, man. Like I was saying, half the plate, I like to have greens, and then I like to split the other half of the plate between my like carbs and my protein. So, you know, if you're vegan, your protein will be different than if you eat meat, pause. But as you can see, this is general advice for everyone. So it works regardless of your diet. Now, some people replace the veggies with fruits. I'm more of a fruit as a snack type of person than as a fruit as a meal. Sometimes, you know, I do like fruits in my salads, and there's certain meals where fruits work better. But general for me, I like to do vegetables in my plates and then do fruits as a snack. I'll also do like some trail mix or some type of like protein bar that I like. Might be a little protein shake, but something very simple, pretty clean, not too bad, but still have some flavor so you're not just sitting there eating and for the purpose of eating versus you're enjoying it, because I think you should enjoy it. It's 2024, you should enjoy what you're eating at this point, but still have it benefit your diet. So you could eat well and enjoy what you eat and then still benefit your diet without it being a negative. Like I always say, I'm still Trini, so I'm still eating my Trini food. Like, you're not taking that away from me. I don't care. but I understand the balance. You know, I'm gonna enjoy those stuff, but I'm still gonna look out for my health. So you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have days where you enjoy yourself. Hey, you drink a little bit here. Hey, you ate a little crazy here this day. That's okay in the long run of life. Like 1 or 2 days is not gonna hurt you. It's a lifestyle you create that hurts you more so. So if you go out and you enjoy yourself, that's okay. It's more if that's a common thing that you do all the time. Like if you're going out drinking and eating bad every day, there's no excuse for that, bro. Like you should get yourself together. But if you do it here and there, but you generally take care of yourself, you can't beat yourself up. Like you're not a cyborg, bro. Like be human for real, bro. That's the balance you have to understand for long-term health. You know, mental health is very important for my diet too. Like that ties into your mental health, your diet. So making it as stress-free as possible process for you is probably the smartest thing for you to maintain it long term and to see the real benefits from what a good diet does for you. So again, this is Cosmic Cage back with another episode on dieting. Tell me what you think. What are some things that worked for you? What are some things you struggled with? What piece of my advice have you been doing already? What are some that you're gonna implement? Like, comment, subscribe, look for more helpful tips on this page. Hopefully you are having a great day. Hopefully you found this information helpful. The goal is to get better every day. I hope you kill it today. Cosmic Cage, out.